On the evening of April 10th, 1912, the RMS Titanic lay at anchor in Southampton, England, its gleaming white hull shimmering under the glow of gas lamps. Excitement buzzed through the crowd as passengers boarded the magnificent ship, eager to embark on a journey across the Atlantic to New York City. Little did they know, this would be a voyage unlike any other. Among the passengers was a young artist named Jack Dawson, who had won a third-class ticket in a poker game. Jack was filled with a sense of adventure, eager to explore the world and find his muse in the bustling streets of America. He marveled at the opulence of the ship, from the grand staircase to the lavish dining halls, and felt a thrill at the prospect of setting sail. In stark contrast to Jack's humble beginnings was Rose DeWitt Bukater, a young woman of privilege traveling in first class. Betrothed to the wealthy but controlling Cal Hockley, Rose felt trapped in a gilded cage. The Titanic represented not just a journey, but a chance to escape the suffocating expectations of her life. As the Titanic departed, its engines roared to life, and the ship glided gracefully away from the dock. Passengers waved goodbye to the familiar shores, their hearts full of hope and dreams. Among the crew, a sense of pride filled the air. They were aboard the largest and most luxurious ship ever built, touted as unsinkable. On board, Jack and Rose's paths crossed during a chance encounter on the deck. Jack was sketching the horizon when Rose approached, drawn by the beauty of his art. Their conversation flowed effortlessly, revealing shared dreams and desires. Jack's carefree spirit enchanted Rose, awakening a longing for freedom she had buried deep within. As the days passed, their connection blossomed into a secret romance. They stole moments away from prying eyes, exploring the ship and each other's hearts. Jack introduced Rose to a world of spontaneity, urging her to embrace life and break free from her constraints. In return, Rose inspired Jack to see the beauty in the world around him, igniting his artistic passion. However, their burgeoning romance did not go unnoticed. Cal, suspicious and possessive, began to investigate Jack, determined to separate the two. He confronted Rose, threatening to cut her off from her family's wealth if she continued to see Jack. Torn between loyalty to her fiancé and her growing love for Jack, Rose felt the weight of her choices. On the night of April 14th, 1912, as the Titanic sailed smoothly through the icy waters of the North Atlantic, a sense of foreboding hung in the air. Passengers reveled in the ship's grandeur, unaware of the danger lurking in the dark waters ahead. That evening, as stars twinkled above, Jack and Rose stood on the ship's bow, arms outstretched, feeling the wind rush against them. "I'm flying," Rose laughed, exhilarated by the freedom she felt. But the night soon turned ominous. At 11:40 p.m., the Titanic collided with an iceberg. A shudder ran through the ship, a jolt that ripped through the celebratory atmosphere. Panic erupted as crew members rushed to assess the damage. The ship was doomed. As chaos ensued, Jack and Rose fought to stay together. They navigated through the throngs of panicked passengers, desperately searching for a way to safety. Cal, in a fit of rage and jealousy, found Rose and tried to pull her away from Jack, but she resisted, choosing love over wealth. "Get in the lifeboat," Jack urged Rose as they reached the deck. But Rose refused, her heart pounding with fear and defiance. "I won't leave you." With lifeboats being lowered and the ship tilting perilously, Jack knew they had to act quickly. "We can't be apart. If you go, I'll come with you," he shouted, determination shining in his eyes. The ship's lights flickered and dimmed, and the Titanic began to sink deeper into the icy waters. Jack and Rose fought against the tide of people, determined to survive. In a final act of courage, they found a lifeboat that had not yet been filled. As Rose climbed aboard, she turned to Jack, her eyes filled with tears. "Promise me you'll find me," she cried, her voice breaking. "I promise," Jack replied, heart heavy with the uncertainty of survival. As the lifeboat was lowered, Jack stood on the deck, watching Rose disappear into the night. The Titanic groaned, its bow plunging into the icy depths. The chaos around him intensified as people screamed and the ship's final moments drew near. In the water, Jack fought against the cold, searching for any sign of Rose. The lifeboats were too few, and the cries of those left behind echoed in his ears. As the ship sank, he spotted a piece of debris, clinging to it as he scanned the dark waters. Amidst the tragedy, a glimmer of hope emerged. He spotted a group of survivors clinging to lifeboats. Hours passed as the night stretched on, the cold seeping into his bones. Just when despair threatened to take over, he heard a familiar voice calling his name. "Jack!" Rose's voice broke through the chaos. She was alive, holding on to a piece of the wreckage. They locked eyes, relief flooding their hearts. Together, they battled the freezing waters, drawing strength from their love. As dawn broke over the horizon, rescue boats arrived, pulling survivors from the frigid sea. Exhausted but alive, Jack and Rose were reunited, their hearts still intertwined despite the horrors they had faced. The Titanic had sunk, but their love would endure, a beacon of hope amid the wreckage. Together, they vowed to rebuild their lives, embracing the promise of a new beginning forged from the depths of tragedy.